One Take, One Take. This is NBA One Take, featuring yours truly, NBA One Take. Man, forget the pleasantries. I'm not doing all. Alright. The New York Knicks, shameful. Freaking shameful what they just did. Fired David FIZDALE. I knew because I made a video. Saying that there's going to be a decision made on his future, made most likely this weekend. It's going to come out first thing Monday. Now, they fired him today. Fired David FIZDALE today after another blowout loss. This time to the Nuggets. And they got rid of him. And now it says, oh, what's next for the New York Knicks? And then as I go to Twitter and everything, I'm seeing Mark Jackson. I keep telling you guys about Mark Jackson. You guys are giving him way too much credit for what the Golden State Warriors has done. Your guys are actually giving Mark Jackson part of those 3 championships. I don't think so. But I've always talked about Mark Jackson and everything else. I'm gonna leave that alone. But the thing is, this is insane. Every time James Dolan, every time James Dolan, terrible owner. That's an understatement. As the New York Knicks, I don't care what he does with the Rangers. I do not care. Because if you hire hockey people and you stay out their way, then obviously they're gonna have success. If you're making bad fits, either with the president and things like that, and you want everybody to be extremely loyal to you, no matter, because you come in hand over fist, the most profitable franchise in all of basketball, one of the most profitable franchises in all of sports. Guys is always in the top 10. The media capital. Steve Mills and Scott Perry had that press conference. Shameful what they did to Dave FIZDALE. Throw him under the bus 10 games into the season. Covering their own, you know what. FIZDALE was not saying he's all innocent in this. But look what he had to deal with for a roster. You couldn't land any free agents. Number one. When FIZDALE came in, he made himself go all out to build a relationship with Kristaps Porzingis, which Porzingis even said he liked that, and it was like a good olive branch to try to get in good graces with the organization. But then the Knicks didn't do that. So then they trade Porzingis. FIZDALE was promised to help build around Porzingis as they build their roster out, with a potential adding to another superstar to get respectability and bring a winning product to New York. They didn't do that. They didn't do that. What happened is, under James Dolan, they continue to do what they've always done. Look at the ceiling, but picking up off the floor. When I say that analogy, I'm talking about they always try to go for the big home runs and end up striking out. You guys bring in Stephon Marbury. When you knew, even with your counterparts in New Jersey, how he was. Yeah, he was on his behavior in Phoenix because there was some structure involved. But you still took Stephon Marbury. And when you took out Stephon Marbury, you got Steve Francis, who had his own problems and own situations, and you put him, a ball-dominant point guard, together with Stephon Marbury, thinking they could recreate Earl of Pearl Monroe and Walter Kai Frazier. You had all these coaches, Larry Brown, Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas was a general manager when all the other craziness happened. All these coaches, Phil Jackson, the players you had, it was just not good enough. You didn't maximize their abilities. The fits wasn't there. Carmelo wanted to come in, was going to come in through free agency to the thing because he wanted to play in New York. You guys couldn't wait, so you gutted out your entire franchise to get Carmelo quickly from Denver, and Denver took everything they wanted from you, and you capitulated to that, and also gave you damaged goods and Chauncey Billups, thinking that, oh, we got the point guard that won the title. Almost 6 years before, when he won it with the Pistons, and he wasn't just a shell of himself anymore, because Billups was never the same after he left Denver. That's why they threw him in, and the Knicks capitulated to that deal. They could have had Chris Paul to Dwight Howard. They didn't want to wait because they think it's a white one that wanted to not come. They didn't wait for Dwight Howard by even talking to him, because he said he would have came playing with Carmelo and Chris Paul. Because Chris Paul said he was going to go and sign with the Knicks. Play with Melo. Gave Amari Stoudemire the big contract because you failed at LeBron, Wade, Joe Johnson, and others, and even Boozer. Amari's coming off of knee surgery, which you guys didn't factor out even when you wanted to build out the roster. What type of player you was going to give him a max deal with all them years attached to it, and he took it because he wasn't even getting that deal anywhere else, because you could have gave him less years, and Amari said he would have took it because it was only about a year-to-year thing. But when he saw that, he said, well, of course he was quickly going to take it. There's so many issues with the Knicks. And I'm not a fan, but like I said, the Knicks is great for the NBA when they have the most fans in the NBA. You got to understand, the Lakers don't have close to the fans that the Knicks have. The Knicks have a large fan base. They have the most fans in all of NBA basketball. The Lakers have fans. These are the Lakers fans. Lakers are fans of superstars. Notably, Magic Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant. When those players are not there, fans is not that there too. They're there when they win it, but they wasn't there. Knicks fans is always there. There when they win, there when they lose. Always optimistic, almost something as like the Cowboys. They're always optimistic. And it's a shame what you've done. Even with all this losing, they lost to the Nuggets by 30-some points. They lost to the Bucks by 44 in Stephen A. Smith's voice. And I really want to hear what he has to say about this, because I know he's going to be even pissed off, and I'm not even going to be mad at him about it. When you have an organizational structure coming from the absolute top, and it's dysfunctional because the one who took over it for his father. The predecessor feels that he needs to do certain things to get it to where he needs it to be. You see, his father won a championship with the Rangers in 1994. Dolan sees that he wants to do certain things with the Rangers. Yeah, the Rangers has been up and down, but they have not won a title since 1994. The Knicks was on the cusp of winning a championship in 1994, but they lost to the Houston Rockets in 7 games. But they were strong contenders. And if they hadn't had to face Michael Jordan and certain issues in some games against that Rockets, would have the Knicks have won championships? Possibly so. We never know. When James Dolan took over in 1999, this roster was already constructed to be what it was. It was an underachieving roster that knew once they got into the playoffs, because of the lockout shortened season, was going to go and contend for a title. I don't put that on James Dolan. He was never there part of that team. Hirings that he's been doing, all these hirings he's been doing, meddling, putting his hand out, doing this and doing that. He's winning to him, because almost like Donald Sterling, I'm getting my money, I'm putting it back in my pocket. I could sell the highest ticket price in the league, and I know the fans is going to come in. Fans was talking about boycotting the Knicks. Hi, Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson told the Knicks twice, no, he was not interested in coming back as a coach or as a general manager. But as the dollar amount kept going, Phil Jackson saw a price that he couldn't refuse. Phil Jackson was over his head. He didn't know what he was doing. He knew that. He had to delegate responsibilities to others to do their job without him really doing most of his work, because he had other things, he had other interests more than possibly running the Knicks, thinking that if you tell him certain things and then he does certain, he say this and you're the final sayer on certain things and you didn't do your own homework. You think that's a way to run a team? Because that's what he said he did. Phil Jackson delegated responsibilities towards others, and when they came back to him with information, then he said it was a yes or no. He never cared what was going to happen with the Knicks. He wanted to try to prove to be a winner because, he had an admiration to Red Holzman, his coach, that he won a championship with the Knicks. But the organization, James Dolan, no. He just told James Dolan. James Dolan said, I'll get out your way. Okay, then, all right, get out my way. I'll do what I gotta do. They're talking about, Phil Jackson was going to do recruitment. What kind of recruitment? He never did recruitment in Chicago like that. That was Jerry Krause. These guys wanted to come to Chicago because they wanted to play with Michael Jordan and win a championship. That's what they was doing. They wasn't going to go with and be with Phil Jackson and this team. This team didn't have aspirations of winning a championship.